All right, welcome back. This is a patrol story, and it's pretty interesting. You realize sometimes the brass, the captains and above, they don't know what they're talking about. Well, this particular captain was a Latin captain, one of the first ones that the department made. A very sweet-talking guy. He used to be a defense representative for officers when they were falsely accused of things or whatever. Very smooth-talking guy. And now he's the captain. And we had to go to these community relation meetings. And a lot of guys didn't go because all it was you get 30 or 40, maybe even 80 people in an auditorium, and you want to talk about what their needs are. Like you need to patrol over here. They want these gang members taken out. You want to talk about that as officers. But you get a couple of guys that'll stand up and just start heckling. And nowadays it doesn't happens a lot now. And then, why are they harassing me, or why do they stop me? And no, I'm not here to talk about individual stories. If you have a problem with individual stories, come to the station or talk to my supervisor off to the side, and we'll address your issues and your concerns. This is for everybody in the room that lives here to see if they have any problems with illegally parked cars, racing cars, dope dealings. That's what we want to hear. Okay, so we're up on the stage. There's like a good 10 of us up there. And a lieutenant, and here's this captain who's in charge of all of us. And I was relatively young on the job, and I always heard that these people above the rank of lieutenant can be a-holes sometimes. They're company men. I told you already some of my realcopstoryvideos.com that just because you make a certain rank doesn't mean that you know what you're talking about. And a lot of them, that's the way they were. Not this guy. So he's up there talking at a podium, and some guy stands up, and he's an older, we call him a hype, but he's an older narco user. Looked like now he's pretty much. He's probably in his 40s now, and he's rehabilitated. But he's got that look, that ruddy, kind of like down look with long hair from the 60s and all that. Of course, this was the 70s, so can't really say that. But anyway. And he says, "Yes, sir." He goes, "You know something, man?" I'll try to get the accent. He goes, "I don't appreciate these Gabacho cops," which means Caucasian cops, "coming into our area, talking to our women, and harassing the men, and trying to pick up our women." Obviously, this guy had a thing with our officers talking to the women, his women meaning Latino women. He goes, "I don't appreciate that because, you come in here like conquerors and Gestapo." Okay, here we go. He's got one of these, all right. Now, you hear that a lot now, but it was even happening then. And so I don't appreciate that. Come down here and talk to our women. Obviously, the guy had a problem with women. Okay. So this guy just stood there, the captain, listening. And I'm going, wow, how do you answer that one? Okay. And he goes, "Well, let me tell you something. Now, let me back up a little bit. When I went to this division, and a little while later I became a newlywed, this guy, this captain, made it a point to find out every officer. He had 192 officers in his division, his command, detectives in uniform. He made it a personal point to know every officer's wife. How about that? By first name. Not Mrs. So-and-so, first name. Everybody knew that, okay? You come to work, and if you're off, if you found out that, you were off because your wife was hurt, he'd say, "How's Mary?" Whatever. And you look at him like, whoa, she's fine. Okay, great. You think, wow, this guy, one of those people that has a memory, okay? Remember all these names. Okay, now we're back to the podium. So he goes, "I'm glad you asked that." And he sits down. Now, this audience is full of pretty much not officer-loving people, but they're regular citizens. They kind of have a neutral opinion about us, and that's fine. That's your right, obviously. I'm in the United States, I have an opinion. He goes, "Well, let me address that." And the people are looking, they're all looking, all these eyes. There's 50, 60 people, 120 eyes looking at him. And I'm standing there like, oh, uniform. He goes, "I'll make up these names now, okay? Because I don't remember their names." He goes, "Well, this Officer 2 from the end over here, that's Officer Bill Jones, okay? You see that over there? Raise your hand, Bill." He goes, "His wife's name is Lupe, nickname Zaria. He met her at the Bank of America while he was on duty on a call, and he married her. They live out in the county. They have 4 children." Okay. Tony Aspetti over here. Tony, raise your hand. Tony met a lady out here from one of your stores, and they're married. They have 3 children. Do I need to go on? And I'm going, whoa, this guy, he already knows Latino wives of his Caucasian officers. I mean, it's amazing, okay? And then he added icing to the cake. He says, here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. He says, "I've got 190 virile officers working in this area." He says, "They're young, they're handsome, they come out and they patrol your streets. And your Latin women are driving them crazy. They are the most beautiful women in the world." I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this guy's... He goes, "Latin women?" He says, "I'm married to a Latin, I'm Latino." I don't know if they knew that or not. He says, the most beautiful woman in the world. He leans back. He says, how can you expect my men to resist that? I've got 14 officers that have married 14 of your women and are raising families. That's harassment. That's domination. That's nothing. That's love. And it's if that's what we're guilty of, then we're guilty. That's all I can answer that question. Because any more questions? And they started applauding. I'm thinking this guy could sell, what is it, ketchup popsicles to nuns? Or that's that Tommy Boy. I mean, this guy was sweet, man. And I go, wow. And there was other few mundane questions at the end of that thing, but that was what I wanted to share with that. He passed away several years ago. He was an older man when I was working there, and he's passed away. He had a couple of sons that became officers. But unbelievable. Sweet-talking guy. I mean, sweet-talking. And he had that audience right here, except for that one guy. Maybe he converted him. Who the heck knows? Anyway, that's my story about a sweet-talking captain. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.